Okay, this is the one that everyone's been waiting for. Net terms. Whether it be net 30, whether it be net 60, whether it be net 90, everybody wants net payment terms from their supplier. So how do you get them? So what are net payment terms before we hop in? If someone says they're going to pay you net 30, that means from the date that you invoice them, they've got 30 days to actually make that payment. And so the holy grail in this business is to pay a manufacturer net 90, which means that when they invoice you for that product, you've got 90 days to actually pay for it. That gives you time for them to ship the product to you, for you to ship it to Amazon, and then for you to sell it to a customer. Customer pays you, and then after you've been paid, you go back and pay the supplier. That's the definition of unlimited capital when you get to net 90 terms, as long as you know you can turn that inventory fast enough in a 90-day period. Now, when you build up a good relationship with a supplier, you may get to what they call net never. I call it net 180. And that's what I have with my largest supplier that I've ever had is net 180, where we can go 6 months without paying them for product that we've actually ordered, that we've received. That is the definition of unlimited scalability because you have unlimited capital. And it's better than having a big loan from the bank or having millions of dollars already in capital because you have an unlimited amount to actually work with. The first piece of advice that I would give you is that if you want net payment terms, you should let your manufacturer know upfront that you'll be looking for net payment terms. I ask my manufacturers before I ever get started with them, hey, in the future, as things go well, I'm going to be asking you for net payment terms. What's the criteria that your company has for providing brands with net payment terms over time? Is it getting to a certain amount of volume? Is it a certain number of years of relationship? What is it that your company uses to qualify people for payment terms? Now, first off, make sure you're talking to the right person because the salesperson is never the person to talk to about net payment terms. Generally speaking, it's someone who's much higher up in the company, either the owner or it could be the CFO or the COO, someone who has actual power and control who can let you know, yes, once we have a trusting relationship with a party, then we do net payment terms based on this criteria. Isn't it better to know that up front so you don't waste your time with manufacturers who are going to say, hey, we never give net payment terms to anyone? The second piece of advice I have for you, and this is really all that matters, is pay your bills on time. So when a manufacturer gives you a bill, pay it promptly. Don't give them a runaround of, hey, can I pay with a credit card? Or I'll pay you next week. I don't have things set up. Be prepared. You know when the bills are going to come. Have your money ready in your account, ready to wire it to them so that they know they're getting prompt payment for the services that they're providing to you. That's going to breed trust. Always, 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 always pay your bills on time. Last but not least, the third piece of advice I have for you, build a personal relationship with your supplier. This is going to help you understand what they want. Because you know what you want unlimited capital. But what do they want? They want customers who are going to keep their production lines full. They want to know how to ebb and flow their human capital to make sure that they can run their business profitably too. And so when you have conversations in a relationship with your manufacturer, you've gone to China, they've come here, you break bread with them, that's an opportunity for a real friendship and a partnership to grow out of that. And that's where trust really comes from. It's more than just paying your bills on time. It's also them seeing your operation and knowing that you can help them. And when your manufacturer believes that them giving you unlimited capital is going to help you grow their business, that's where you get net payment terms. And that's when unlimited capital begins. But this is generally a process of trust building that takes 3, 4, 5 years before you get to a point you have unlimited capital. Start small. Make your first request to be net 30 on the second payment. Your manufacturer is always going to need some money up front. Generally speaking, they're going to ask you for 50% up front. And that's going to dwindle down as you order more and more. They're going to ask you for 30% up front. But that second payment, they're always going to want that second payment before they ship the goods to you because they don't know if you're going to pay. There's no trust. They don't know you from Adam. It's a different country. What if you don't pay? Can they come after you in international court, US court? What does that look like? Because of that, they want the balance of this, whether it's 50% or it's 70%. They want that before they actually ship those goods to you. So the first thing to ask for is on the second payment, hey, can we get that net 15? Like, can we have you ship that to me? And by the time it hits the port, I'll pay you the rest of it. Start with a small ask and then pay that bill on time. And on your next order, see if you can push it out to net 30, net 45, net 60. It will probably take you a couple of years to get to net 60 terms, and it will probably take you a lot of years to get to net 90 terms. But if you're a good, decent human being, thinking about someone besides yourself, understanding that your manufacturer is your partner, you can get yourself there. The last piece of advice, like, don't threaten your manufacturer. Don't come at them and say, oh, I could find 10 of you. I'm going to go leave you tomorrow because you're not giving me net payment terms. How would you react if you were them? That's not how relationships are built. If they're built on trust and time and longevity, see them as your partner, and they're going to see you as their partner. It takes time to build that relationship up. Allow time to happen. You're not going to be able to just grow all of this overnight. A brand takes a long time to build. Have partners in your manufacturers. Set up your brand so that you've got partners in your manufacturers who want to see you win long term, because they know that means that they win long term. Just don't rush to go get net payment terms. Like, I know how important it is to you. I've been there when you don't have enough capital to get going and you want to grow. But that's why in the very beginning, you probably need to have a banking relationship or use a system like 8Fade that gives you capital based off your sales on Amazon, so that you can go to them when you've built up a trusting relationship. Once you've broken bread with them, you sat down, you get to know their family and tell them about your family, and they think they can trust you. Now you can start to have a conversation around having unlimited capital.